I need to eat
Morena koutou, councillors. We will commence the council meeting of the 19th of October. I just need to advise you, remind councillors, and I see no staff in the council chambers, remind councillors that this meeting is being live streamed. It's being recorded. The recording will be made available on the Bay of Plenty Regional Council website following the meeting. Also remind you that the local government decision making affords no protection to councillors, council officers, for public comments made during the meetings that are subsequently challenged in a court of law and determined to be slanderous. So with those comments, Councillor Iti, a small opening karakia. Please.
Kia ora. Kia ora tātou, e tuwhera tā tātou hui me te karakia. E onore i roi ki te atua mai ngā rongo ki te whenua te kāra pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Anga e te atua e ngā hau, e ki tēnā ki tēnā o mātou. Whakatongi a te wairua tapu, e awhina e tohu ia mātou, e rotu tā tātou mai. Amen.
Thank you, Councillor Iti. We have no apologies, there's no public forum, there's items not on the agenda, there are none. The order of business is not to be changed. Declaration of conflict of interest, there are no conflicts of interest. So we have only one report. This is really essentially a procedural matter. If you read your papers, you'll see that the particular item, which is infrastructure insurance renewal, exceeds the Chief Executive's delegation, and we have previously had discussions as a council body in regard to the merits and or otherwise of the particular renewal of the insurance. So I'm going to hand it over to Sarah.
Thank you, Chair. This will be Chris Ingle presenting with Kirsty Brown for this paper.
Thank you, Sarah. Mr. Ingle.
Sorry, councillors, just unmuting there. Yes, I think, Kirsty, you're online?
Yes.
Great, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Chris, and thank you, Chair. Kia ora, councillors. To meet the 1st of November renewal date for our infrastructure insurance cover, we're seeking delegation for the Chief Executive to approve and pay the 21-22 premium. The time frame for receiving quotes and placing the cover is very tight. And with advice received from Aon, these should be available later this week. So over the past 12 months, we have seen an increase in the rivers and drainage infrastructure insurance value from 390 million to 425 million. And on this basis, Aon have advised in the last fortnight that the estimated premium will be approximately 793,000, which exceeds the Chief Executive's financial delegation. Just noting that this is within the budget for year one of the LTP of 800,000. So I'd like to take the report as read and answer any questions.
Thank you, Kirsty. Councillors, any questions? Mr. Love and then Mr. Winters. You're on mute. David, you're on mute.
Finger trouble at my end, sorry about that. In many ways, this is a simple matter, but it would have been better in the ideal world if this had followed the audit or the risk and assurance meeting on Thursday rather than before it. I mean, basically, insurance costs have gone up. We all know why. It's climate change has caused all sorts of disasters. There have been other disasters. and the insurance companies have got to remain profitable. So we're really stuck in a place where we really have to go ahead with this. Obviously, at Risk and Assurance on Thursday, one of the things we're doing was we're looking at the appetite for risk to the future. And one of the things we need to decide is what we need to insure for the future and what we don't. However, that doesn't get us out of the hole where we are today. And I'm quite happy to move that we just go ahead with this and give Fiona the capacity to make the payment and leave the detail to Risk Assurance on Thursday.
Thank you, Councillor Love, and I concur that this issue does need some exposure at Risk and Assurance. Just before I come to Councillor Winters and Councillor Nees, could I ask staff, in terms of the revaluation of the assets, clearly you're not doing it at cost. This is at renewal or replacement. And do we have a policy in terms of the period in which we revalue these assets? Is it 5-yearly, 3-yearly, or do you do it annually?
So we have a process in place where we do a valuation of our assets annually. And this forms our insurance cover as well as depreciation.
Okay, thank you, Kirsty. Councillor Winters.
Oh yeah, I just want to ask Kirsty, the excess that we currently have, is that going to remain the same under the current system?
Yes.
Thank you. Happy to second, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Nees.
Thank you. My question's around the reduction in the contingency provisions and the risk around that. My question specifically are, how often do we use the contingency? Is it generally related to an unanticipated increase in construction cost or allowance for unforeseen geotechnical issues, or is it to do with engineering related costs? So we've achieved a decrease, or we've managed to hold the cost by reducing our contingency. So I just need to understand the implications of that, the potential future implications for that.
Yes, so the initial year we included the contingency sum, which is something that we found with the April 2017 flood repair project, where we didn't have that contingency for things like removing debris, establishing tracks, access tracks to the site. So the first year was based on advice from Aon to set that at 30%. We did some further analysis and some calculations, and that was reduced the following year to 16%. And we're quite comfortable that this would be an efficient amount.
Thank you, Kirsty. Councillors, any other questions? If not, can we move to the resolution, which was moved by David Love and seconded by Councillor Winters. Right, any further questions? If not, I'll put the resolution. All those in favour, raise your hand. Against? Carried. Thank you, councillors. There are no considered items not on the agenda. So in doing so, that brings